Hey gamers! If you are a fan of Metroidvania games, then you've come to the right place. In this video, I will show you best dark Metroidvania games that you should play. Some of you might disagree with the ranking, but that's okay. All I know, this game is a good game. But before we go into the list, let's hear quick words from our sponsor. Do you know Instant Gaming is a fantastic place to buy games? It's renowned for offering exclusive discounts that you won't find anywhere else, and it's easy to access as well. You can browse and purchase games for various platforms like PC, PS5, Xbox, and even Nintendo Switch. All you have to do is enter the link in the description below, create your own ID, and start searching for your favorite games. Once you buy them, you'll get an activation code for your chosen platform. And by clicking on my link, it not only saves you money, but also supports this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Carrion is a unique and intense game where you get to be the monster. It's fun, challenging, and has a fresh twist on the usual gameplay. The gameplay involves moving around the facility, eating humans to grow stronger, and dealing with different types of enemies. The size of your monster matters and can change based on how much you eat, which affects what abilities you can use. You can also gain new abilities to access new areas, but it lacks a map system which can make it hard to know where to go. The game does a good job of making you feel like a terror, with humans screaming and running away from you. Infernax is a retro-style game that takes inspiration from classics like Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. You play as a crusader named Alster, who must defeat 5 orbs to destroy the big demonic baddie haunting the lands. The game features brutal combat, light Metroid and Castlevania-style elements, and a day and night cycle that affects enemy difficulty. The game's narrative is engaging, and the world is interesting to explore. While the combat can feel repetitive at times, the addition of spells adds some variety to the gameplay. Overall, Infernax is a fun, retro-inspired game that fans of classic action-adventure will enjoy. Astalon Tears of the Earth is a retro-inspired action platformer that brings together elements from classic games. The game takes place within the Tower of Serpents, where you play as a band of 3 characters, each with unique abilities to help traverse the dungeon. The game is challenging and requires strategic use of each character to overcome obstacles and puzzles. The game also features a death mechanic that allows players to purchase power-ups with collected soul orbs. However, the game can be frustrating with the amount of backtracking required and occasional glitches with enemy collision detection.
In order for us to survive, I had to embrace death.
Upon every
Vigil: The Longest Night is a Souls-like Metroidvania action RPG that will put your overrun skills to the test. Players will take on the role of Layla, a vigilant who returns to her hometown to discover it overrun with sickness and monsters. Of course, the combat system is based on stamina and includes a variety of weapons such as swords, bows, and heavy weapons. The game also has a skill tree and a smithy where you can upgrade your weapons and armor. Vigil's world is vast and full of secrets, with numerous optional quests and choices that alter the game's story and appearance.
Horrors. I can help you. We train. We fight.
Death's Gambit Afterlife is an extensive of the original Death's Gambit. This game is a 2D Souls-like action RPG with Metroidvania elements. Players will find a robust skill tree and a variety of abilities to unlock, along with tough boss battles that will test their skills. Moreover, the platforming in the game is well done, encouraging exploration and backtracking to uncover new areas and items. The death mechanic is quite forgiving, letting players respawn at the last death idol statue they visited with all their collected essence. However, losing healing plumes upon death can be a bit frustrating.
You lack the conviction to do what is necessary.
Fate is not.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a Metroidvania game where players follows the story of Miriam, a female orphan who suffers from a curse that is slowly crystallizing her body. In order to save herself and humanity, she must fight her way through a demon-infested castle and defeat Gebel, a former shardbinder turned evil. The gameplay is reminiscent of Castlevania, with a focus on exploration, loot, and varied combat. The game is well-balanced and accessible, with a wide variety of weapons, abilities, and stats to customize Miriam's build. The game also includes a crafting system, side quests, and multiple endings. The game has been praised for its engaging story, challenging gameplay, and beautiful Gothic-inspired art style.
Jeeper, tell me you didn't do this.
Moonscars is a 2D action-adventure game that blend of Souls-like and Metroidvania elements that unfortunately doesn't quite hit the mark. The game starts off strong with its hauntingly beautiful Gothic art style and intricate animations, which really set the tone for the dark fantasy world. The combat system is one of Moonscars' high points. The weighty feel of each sword swing, coupled with the risk-reward ichor system, makes for some truly satisfying encounters. On a positive note, the level design is commendable, though the enemy variety could use some improvement. The brooding, atmospheric music also deserves a mention for enhancing the game's bleak atmosphere. Grime is a challenging Souls-like action RPG that rewards perseverance and exploration. Unlike other games in the genre, Grime allows players to keep their mass, the game's currency, even after death, which can be used to level up and improve their character. Combat in Grime is a delicate dance of offense and defense. The parry system, which allows you to absorb enemies, adds a unique strategic layer to encounters. Coupled with a diverse array of weapons, each with distinct movesets, players have the tools to approach combat in their own style. Although Grime is a difficult game, the sense of accomplishment in overcoming its obstacles makes it a worthwhile journey for those seeking a demanding and rewarding action RPG experience. Salt and Sanctuary is a 2D action RPG that combines the punishing difficulty of Dark Souls with the exploration and platforming of Castlevania. The game is set on a mysterious island where you play as a customizable character who must uncover the secrets of the island and defeat powerful bosses. The game features deep character customization through its skill tree and equipment systems, as well as a multiplayer mode for cooperative and competitive play. While the game's story is vague and the graphics may not be to everyone's taste, the challenging gameplay and intricate level design make it a worthwhile experience for fans of the genre. The Last Faith is a 2D action-adventure game that draws heavily from popular titles like Castlevania, Dark Souls, and especially Bloodborne. The story follows Eric, a rather bland protagonist, on a quest to challenge corruption and cure a mysterious illness. Combat is a highlight, with a variety of weapons and spells to experiment with. Players can equip 4 weapons/spells at once, including transforming weapons similar to Bloodborne's trick weapons. Boss battles are generally well-designed, requiring patience and tactical thinking to overcome. The game features tight level design, solid combat, and attractive visuals. Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist is the highly anticipated follow-up to Ender Lilies Quietus of the Nights by Binary Haze Interactive. This action Metroidvania game takes place years after the events of its predecessor, with the world now overrun by homunculi affected by a magic-saturated mist. Players take on the role of Lilac, an attuner who can restore the sanity of the homunculi and set off on a journey to save their race. With a captivating story, customizable gameplay, beautiful visuals, exciting boss fights, and a stunning soundtrack, Ender Magnolia is shaping up to be a fantastic addition to the Metroidvania genre. However, the current early access version lacks content and may be too easy for some players. Despite these drawbacks, Ender Magnolia is definitely worth keeping an eye on as it approaches its full release. Ender Lilies Quietus of the Nights is Metroidvania platformer that is worth to playing. The gameplay is simple yet challenging, with players battling blighted monsters using the spirits they have acquired. Each spirit has its own unique attack, and some require spirit points to use. Players can also dodge enemy attacks and use prayer to heal Lily. One of the standout features of Ender Lilies is its dark and tragic story, which is revealed through dialogue with monsters and other characters. The music is a highlight, with catchy melodies that will stay with you long after you've stopped playing. Hollow Knight is an exceptional Metroidvania game that stands out even today. Developed by Team Cherry, this 2D action-adventure game offers a rich and immersive experience that fans of the genre should not miss. The game drops you into the mysterious world of Hallownest with little direction, armed only with your trusty nail as a weapon. Combat and platforming are satisfying and challenging, with a unique healing system that uses soul gathered from striking enemies. The game's difficulty is finely tuned through the innovative charm system, allowing players to customize their abilities and playstyle. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a classic game that helped shape the Metroidvania genre. Set in Dracula's castle, it's packed with monsters, demons, and treasures to discover. You play as Alucard, Dracula's son, on a quest to explore the castle and uncover secrets about his fater and his own powers. The gameplay is a seamless mix of action, exploration, and RPG elements. Alucard moves smoothly, unlike earlier Castlevania games, and gains new abilities as you progress. From turning into a bat to wielding powerful weapons, the feeling of getting stronger is both satisfying and exciting. Additionally, the game can be brutally difficult in the early stages, with harsh penalties for death. Blasphemous 2 offers a compelling blend of Metroidvania exploration and Souls-like combat, set in a darkly fascinating world steeped in twisted Catholic imagery. The game's striking visuals and intricate animations are particular highlights, bringing its grotesque monsters and bosses to life in memorable ways. Combat feels satisfying, with a variety of weapons and abilities to master. The integration of weapon-specific traversal mechanics adds an interesting layer to exploration. The progression system, with its various upgrades and collectibles, offers depth for dedicated players. For players willing to embrace its mysteries and overcome its challenges, Blasphemous 2 offers a rewarding adventure that lingers in the mind long after the final boss falls.
This endless waiting has been my penance.
For bonus, we have Axiom Verge 2, is a daring sequel that changes almost every aspect of its predecessor while retaining its soul. Set in an alien world full of killer drones and two civilizations that once fought a devastating war, the game tells a philosophical story that touches on artificial intelligence and a theory of multiple worlds. The gameplay has also changed significantly, with the iconic Axiom disruptor replaced by a similar hacking tool, and guns excised completely in favor of melee weapons and a boomerang. The game's world is more detailed, with a greater emphasis on exploration than combat. There are no boss fights, and the game introduces a parallel world running alongside the primary one, which is a separate map with a different layout and visual style. And that's it for today. What do you think about this list? I know there are dark Metroidvania games out there that I haven't mentioned yet. Please share your favorite dark Metroidvania games that you think deserve a spot here. Don't forget to like this video, and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss another great list. And as always, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.